Good morning everyone from the tiny tunnel. There is a bit of trouble going on in the tiny tunnel. I thought I'd show you what's going on and how we're trying to deal with it. At the moment we are losing the battle, which is problematic because those lovely Ranunculus that I did a lovely short film about are being eaten by mice. So here's an example of the sort of damage that they're causing. They are digging down, damaging those gorgeous roots that have been developed over winter. Not actually taking the plants, they're just causing havoc with the ones that are here. Interestingly, there's a little bit less damage around the ones that have got lots of chili. So more chili is on the shopping list for today. And these plants really are lovely and healthy, but look, they're digging everywhere. And it's causing trouble. So we've tried a couple of things. The first thing that we've tried, I will show you at the other end. Outside the tunnel at the far end. And what we try to do is to make sure that there's a really good airflow in our tunnel, because we know that that's good for our flowers. It stops mold and mildew. It kind of makes our plants just a little bit stronger as well, because that draft that's going through gives those stems, once they're there, just a bit of movement and a bit more strength. To do that, I'm going to turn the camera around in just a second and talk you through what we've done this winter. This is the view into our tunnel from the bottom end. We've left it open, but we put the crate over the end, and the crate was over the end to stop foxes getting in. But obviously crates have gaps in, so plan A was to fill the gaps at the bottom so that the mice couldn't get in. And I don't think that was particularly successful. I'm going to show you why. So I'm just leaning over the crates to get this view. And I guess that's one of the things that we do because it's difficult to access. And you can see there's plastic coming out in the middle there, and that is a point of entry for Mr. Mousey. And then at this top end of the tunnel, I can see this morning that Mr. Mousey has dug another little hole in between the rows of Nigella to get in and eat my Ranunculus. So whilst I'm all about wildlife, you can tell that I'm more than slightly irritated by this. There are plenty of bulbs and corns out in the garden that they could eat. There are tulips out here that are not protected and that we're not trying to look after. There are snowdrops and all sorts of other things. But no, they're in my tunnel eating my Ranunculus. So blocking the end didn't work. Plan B was to try some traps. They haven't worked. Plan C, well, right now I've found 2 holes in and 2 entry points, so they need filling. So that's what I'm going to do next. Need to get some wire wool to block the holes that we can see. I mean, my worry is that if I block those holes, they're just going to dig other holes elsewhere to make their way in. So just gonna have a think about what we do about that, because I can't spend like all day every day until Ranunculus season filling holes that the mice are making into the tunnel. What to do next? So I have just lined that bit of gap on the route into our tunnel with a bit of PPX, kind of ground matting that we brought to just cover the ground inside the tunnel and stop the grass growing. Brought that down from the field. Okay, so I have covered that bit of PPX, a bit of matting with stones. So these are just random stones that we had about. So there's some pea gravel, there's some alpine gravel, there's some random red stones, not sure what they were from. I'm really hoping that's going to weigh things down from the inside. So in more pleasant news at this end of the tunnel, the daffodils are through enough, I hope, to be able to keep themselves protected from the mice. I really hope that they'll be able to do it themselves. So I'm going to uncover these and put the enviromesh down the gap there and see if that's enough to keep mice out at that end. There's a good reason for that. I'm going to turn the camera around. Okay, so the reason that I am going to see if the enviromesh will be good enough to do the job at the other end of the tunnel is because we've put a bed in front of our tunnel to make the most use of space, which is great, but it's also slightly inconvenient. So filling the whole space with stones, it will be really hard work to dig out if it doesn't work or if there's a problem with the tunnel later on. So we're going to give the EnviroMesh a go, and it also means I can uncover the daffodils, and those are all kind of lovely scented double daffodils. They'll be ready soon. The final thing that I need to do is get some wire wool and fill the gaps, the holes that I can see in the tunnel, so that it's harder for any little mousy friends to get in. Okay, so that is the tale of the mice in the tiny tunnel, part 1. I will let you know how that goes. Hopefully it goes well and the mice stay out of the tunnel. One of the reasons to show you this is because often people say we make it look really easy, growing flowers in a city. Like urban flower farming just is a bit ridiculous, really. And it's not easy. It's just that often that these things would happen and we would deal with them as I have done today, and then we would move on. And it's much nicer to show you pretty flowers, all stuff going well. But I think it's helpful to see how you can use what you have around. So we have stones around, we have PPX around, we have some wire wool in the kitchen cupboard. None of that has really made me go out and do anything. It's just taken time, which means that the jobs that I actually wanted to do today, I haven't got done. But that's okay, because at the moment it's much more important to me that I keep the mice out of the tiny tunnel than it is that I get on with any of the other bits and pieces. So as ever, hello, my name's Rebecca. I'm from Silver Grey Foliage. We're an urban flower farm in North Leeds, which is in Yorkshire. If you have enjoyed seeing how we work, please do subscribe to the channel. You can do that using the bell icon. If you would like help with planning your flower farm, we have a planner. It's a Flower Farmers Planner for 2023. It's available on our website, and we're down to the last few copies. And that's really to help you have those little steps planned out, so that even though I've set them aside today, I know what they are, and so that we're efficient and productive in the work that we do. And do follow along, do subscribe. We'll be keeping you up to date with our flowers of the year and how we work and what we do. Have a great day.